Hey, what is going on, everybody? And in today's video, we will be talking all about the As Seen on TV event, which is going to be a 10-day milestone competitive event, which includes a lot of gear rewards, gold promotion credits, and the coveted Ultron What If costume. Now, this was mentioned in the Friday's blog post, so we're going to review that part really quickly again. We're going to take a look at the superstar characters and the ways that I have created teams for them, since I have 4 spare Blitz slots for this event, and of course, we're going to go over the math involved on this milestone. Now, I do want to say that we don't know exactly where the milestone will end, but through the math, we can determine ahead of time what an average amount of work will get you points-wise and talk about a theoretical maximum, because this will be somewhat important, as it seems like there will be some scoring elements, kind of like Blitz, which will repeat every 2 days. So even if you clear the milestone, scoring high will give you a better chance at more gold promo credits and phase bits for Ultron, which will be important. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road. So first off, we need to jump back to the blog post on Friday, because that's where we get the details for this event. So as seen on TV here, the quality streaming milestone. So basically, you're gonna get rewards such as teal, orange, and purple gear, as well as gold phase bits that can be exchanged for the Ultron What If costume, but also some other ones as well. It is a 2-day recurring milestone that's 10 days long, using a lot of the superstar trait characters. Not only them, but primarily them, for big points. So what I did like about this was that they told us in advance what the scoring was going to be. Now, this is the second time they've actually done this. I believe for the Lady Deathstrike event, they also gave us a breakdown of the scoring. So I'm really appreciative of this. One thing they don't do is they don't necessarily tell us how many points we need for the milestones. And because it's a recurring milestone, it's not going to show up ahead of time like it does for some of the other events. So we can see it all here, and we'll see it again when we talk about the math. Now, the ranked leaderboards part. This is what's kind of important. So it's my interpretation that this event is going to have Blitz-esque payouts, kind of similar to Blitz, where depending on how many points you score, in this case, you're going to get a certain amount of reward payouts, which will give you gold phase bits and gold promotion credits. Now, what this means to me is that the gold phase bits that you get up here from the milestones is not going to be enough to get the costume. You're going to need to win a certain amount of points. We don't know what that's going to be yet, and I will most likely do an update to this where we talk specifically about whether or not it's free to play accessible, that kind of stuff, and you know what the end of the milestones are. We'll definitely be doing an update video on this event, but I kind of want to go over this in advance so you guys can have an idea of what you need to do in order to perform well in the points. So once you've earned at least 3,000 points, you start accruing leaderboard points, and you will get rank payouts, I guess, in that case. So I don't know if that means that 3,000 is the end of the milestones, or if there will be milestones past the 3,000 point threshold. As rewards, of course, the new Ultron What If costume, and then if you miss the other ones, the WandaVision costumes or the President Loki costume, you could exchange your credits for them instead, hopefully at a lower rate. We don't know what that rate's going to be yet, and hopefully at some point in time, they'll just be, you know, farmable if you want to buy them, I guess. I have the Vision one. I bought that one, but I'll try to get the Ultron one if we can. So we're going to jump back into the game's roster and talk about the superstar characters. There's a total of 20 of these characters. Now, some of them are good, some of them are great, and some of them are not so great. So there's 20 in 4 lines here of 5 characters. So you can see right off the bat which characters are good and which characters are not so great. So characters that you're going to be using right now: the Secret Avengers, Cap Sam and Sharon Carter, Cloak and Dagger, possibly Baron Zemo, Gamora, maybe Phoenix if you already have her, if you're a veteran player. If you don't, you might not have her as high. Ultron possibly, and after that it kind of breaks down a little bit. Wolverine's on here from the Weapon X team. What you can see is that there's kind of a mishmash of character team tags here available, and some characters that just really aren't so good anymore. So Falcon, OG, Captain Marvel, Daredevil if you never did Shadowlands and things like that. So Scarlet Witch, of course. And what I want to share with you all is what I did with these characters, and I formed 4 teams of 5. And the reason why I did this is so when you're spending your blitz charges, so after a rotation and you have blitz charges to spend, you want to do it on all superstar characters. You want to lump them all together in one team so you maximize the amount of points earned. Now, like I said, you do get extra points for having them at gear tier 9, 12, or 15. 15 is a bit excessive, but in some cases you might, like with the Secret Avengers and certain characters, might be gear tier 15. But gear 12 is a pretty common medium for a lot of these. I want to talk about the team that I have on the bottom, and this is basically backed by Ultron, so I kind of expect them to win because Ultron's there. If you pick a random team in Blitz, you should have no problems getting a win. Scarlet Witch and Vision alongside Falcon and the Winter Soldier, basically. Even though these two have, like, no synergy together, and Scarlet Witch and Vision actually have very minor synergy as well, but it is what it is. He's tech. I guess he's giving, Vision's tech, giving the defense up to Ultron and, Falcon here. The second team, this is basically backed by Wave 1 Avengers, so Thor, Hawkeye, and Black Widow are all Wave 1, including Sharon Carter and Cap Sam, who are of the Avengers tag. Despite being Secret Avengers, they do have the Avengers tag, so there are synergy, specifically with Black Widow and the special and the speed up and all that. So that's quite helpful. The third team here, this is mainly backed by Cloak and Dagger, and then we have Loki on this side, who gives speed bar to Cloak, and then Baron Zemo's just kind of there, and Daredevil's also just kind of there, just to help. But this one here, the final team, this is backed by the Uncanny X-Men, so Phoenix in the center here. I don't know if it really matters where she is. With Wolverine and Cyclops, and then we have Captain Marvel and Gamora. Now, I had Gamora originally on this other team, but I felt that maybe Phoenix isn't strong enough these days to win a Blitz match, depending on who you're fighting against, on her own. So I decided to throw Gamora in there just for the lulz. And so these are the 20 superstar characters. You don't have to do what I did. This is just what I felt was best for my roster and I felt made the most sense. So basically you want to do a standard Blitz rotation, but when you come to using Blitz charges, if you want to gain additional points, then you want to win with these superstar characters, all 5 of them into one team. And I feel that this is the best combination to do so. So you might not do, 25, 25, 25, or 75 charges on all 4 teams every day. But if you so wish, obviously use the ones that you're going to win the best with. You're going to get the same, or the ones that you have geared up the highest as well. You could do that to gain some additional points. I know I did not lump my characters in based on what gear tier they were, but you could do that if you decide to do that. I just did what I felt would get the most success chance in winning when I do that. So yeah, that's what you're going to want to do to score additional points, because you're going to see when we get to the math section, I don't know why I pointed that way, how much the superstar characters actually matter in terms of points over your standard Blitz rotations for the rest of the teams that you have. So let's jump on over to the spreadsheets where we're going to talk about the math and how much points you can expect to get. Alright, and so here we are in the spreadsheet section for this event. So obviously we're here for the As Seen on TV event, which is a 10-day event. The quality streaming milestone, which is 5 repeating 2-day events or milestones over 10 days. Now, we don't know what the total points are going to be required for this milestone. I just put 3,000 question mark because that's where the ranked rewards start happening. That's when you qualify for the ranked rewards, but we'll see that it's fairly easy to at least get to the 3,000, and if the milestones are further, then we'll check that out in an update. I will do a video update on this when we actually take a look at the rewards specifically, and whether or not the event is actually free to play, accessible for the costume or not, and what kind of payouts we get for the leaderboard points as well. So let's talk about the points though. So arena win and loss, 120. So if you did all 5 of your attacks for Arena Daily, that's 600 points. Raid attacks, 75. Hypothetically, if you did 16 raid attacks, which is 8 over both of the raids in one day, you would get 1,200 points. Now, the Superstar character points, this is where it gets pretty important. So you get 8 points for a standard Blitz Sim win, and my apologies to anyone who does manual blitzing or is not level 60 yet. Most people who are level 60 plus only do Blitz Sim and not manual blitzing, so these points are going to be reflective of level 60 plus. My apologies, I would have had to do a complete different breakdown of the points in order to get manual blitzing across. So if you win a Blitz Sim with a Superstar trait character, that's 20 per character, not for just the win, it's per character in the team. Now, if they additionally have gear tier 9, 12, or 15, they get an extra 7, 13, or 18 points on top of the 20. So we're going to be doing this in mind of a team of gear tier 12 plus characters, because this is somewhere in the middle. Now, how many of these characters should you be gearing to gear tier 12 plus? Maybe not all of them, but if you have a lot of purple gear spare and there happen to be level 60 or 65 already, you know, maybe do that just for the lulz, or at the very least get them up to gear tier 9, because the extra 7 points is going to make a fair bit of a difference. It does not make a huge difference between gear 12 and 15. It's only 5 points, and as we go through, I have another scenario down towards the bottom where we look at gear tier 15 for all the characters. It doesn't make a significant amount of difference in the points. But if you get a full team of gear tier 12 characters, all superstar, you get 173 points for 1 win with 5 characters. Now, there are 20 characters, so a 4 superstar team rotation is worth about 692 points. Now, there are about 30 leftover teams, because I think right now we have a total of 34 teams. Please correct me if I'm wrong. It's not going to make a significant difference in the points, because you're only getting 8 points per win for the regular teams that aren't superstar traded. So that gives you a total of 240 points for a full rotation. So comparatively, you know, 1 win for a superstar team gives you 173, which is over halfway to what a full rotation of the rest of the teams are worth. So you see that the superstar characters are worth a significant amount of points here. A total points per rotation for 1 full blitz rotation with all of these characters, assuming you have them all unlocked, is about 932. So this is important when we look at scenarios. So I have scenario 1, scenario 2, and scenario 3. I've done this in previous events where we've had similar data accessible, like the Lady Deathstrike event. I did a similar table you might recognize if you follow my channel a lot. So we have scenario 1, which is minimal work done. This is 2 arena attacks, which is worth about 240 points, 8 raid attacks, because this is what you need to clear your daily objective, and that's worth about 600 points, 75 times 8, and 2 blitz sim rotations. This is with the traits, will give you 1,864 points. Now you add up all 3 of these, multiply it by 2, because it's a 2-day milestone, you're getting about 5,400 points. So that's what I would call the minimal work done. And what's interesting is that that's well above the 3,000 points that you need to activate the ranked rewards or the ranked payouts for this new quasi-blitz structured event, or whatever it's going to be like. Again, we're going to take a look at this another time in a separate video where we do an update for this. Scenario 2, which is the average work done, 3 arena attacks, 306. This is where I'm probably going to be, something like this. 360 points from arena attacks, 1050 for raid attacks, 4 blitz sim rotations with the traded characters, 3,700, times it by 2, and you get about 10,000, almost 10,300 points. And what this doesn't include, though, is any blitz charges that you might do. Like I was talking about earlier on, if you lump them all together in one team and you just spam 25, 25, 25 on the blitz sim charge wins, this does not include that. So you're going to get like an additional 173 points every time you win doing it that way. So you'll be able to rack up more points that way if you want to spend the blitz charges in this event. Now, scenario 3, which is lots of work, 5 arena attacks. This is basically maxed out your free-to-play ability. 600 points there, 20 raid attacks. I'm pretty sure you can get 10 free raid attacks if you get in early. That's 1,500 points, 7,456 if you do 8 blitz sim rotations. That's a lot. Total points over 2 days, you take all this, multiply by 2, and you get about 19,000 points. So that gives you an idea, at least around gear tier 12, what kind of points you can kind of score. You need 3,000 in order to hit the ranked rewards, and then after that, it's just you're fighting against the rest of the server, the rest of the game, all the people out there. Now, if everyone was gear tier 15, I just did a hypothetical experiment here. It doesn't actually change things all that much. Total points per rotation on Blitz goes from 932 to 1032, because the difference between gear tier 12 and 15 is only 5 points per character. 20 superstar characters, so 20 times 5 is 100. So, taking a look at the scenarios, it's not significantly different. The total points over 2 days... Oops, didn't mean to click that. Total points over 2 days for the minimal work done, 8,336 versus 5,400. For whatever reason, maybe my math is wrong, but it seems like this one is the hugest jump. But scenario 2 for the average work done, 11,000 points versus 10,276 over 2 days. And then scenario 3, the loss of work, 20,700 versus the 19,100. So you can see that in terms of blitz, it doesn't make a huge difference for the points between Gear Tier 12 and Gear Tier 15. It's actually not that significant. It's 100 points per rotation. It's not a lot, but where you actually get more points is 120 for an arena win or loss. So hypothetically, if you wanted to score more, it might be more beneficial to instead, spend 25 power cores maybe on an extra arena battle, to get those extra scores. Maybe do a couple of extra raid attacks a day if you can. Those kind of things. Otherwise, you're obviously going to make a lot more using blitz charges. So if you want to do 25, 25, 25 on all of your superstar teams, that is 300 blitz charges on the 25 charges every single day. That's where you're going to get the biggest increase in your points, which is about 173. But it's not going to make a difference between the Gear Tier 12 and Gear Tier 15. That 173 will become 198. Not a huge difference. But making sure that you actually blitz sim or blitz win with the superstar characters, that's where the majority of the points are going to come from in this event. So my concern for this event will be how free-to-play friendly that it is overall. How many people are going to have access to the Ultron costume? Because we know that we get gold phase bits from the milestone, but we're also getting them additionally from this payout every 2 days. So in my eyes, it seems like maybe you won't get enough for the Ultron costume unless you do well in this payout, so you get additional bits to buy the Ultron costume. It's possible you might be able to buy the other costumes, the consolation prizes, but we'll see. We'll also see about how many gold promotion credits we can expect to get in these payouts as well, because that's going to be in there too. So that's why we need to do an update. When the event goes live, I'll be taking a look at that. Just be doing a short video on that, as an addition to this. And if there's anything that is unclear, feel free to mention in the comments down below. I hope this is helpful for you guys. I hope you enjoy blitzing, because that's what we're going to be doing for the next 10 days when this event goes live. And yeah, we'll see how things go. So once again, until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I will see you all later. Enjoy blitzing. Boilon signing out.